Hey, this is KB. I'm a technologist, thought leader, and self-published author. I've been publishing ebooks, print books, audio, video, and other content online since 2015. I stumbled quite a bit, tried many different types of content, marketing strategies, software tools, and social media streams. Now I'm here to help you learn from my mistakes and find inspiration along the way. We'll take a journey together to leverage your content, dive into practical tips, and test out actionable strategies that move you from posts to profit. This is the Self-Pub Empire Podcast. Welcome back. KB here again with another podcast about Kindle Direct Publishing, KDP. Seems like the depths of KDP are so extensive that I probably will never be able to cover everything in my lifetime. But hey, today let's talk about Author Central. I think Author Central is very powerful. If you don't have a website, you really need to pay attention to Author Central. Your KDP Author Central page really can serve as your professional front page in the vast Amazon marketplace. According to Kindlepreneur.com, authors who actively update and maintain their author page have seen an increase in both book visibility and sales. This isn't really about putting a face to a name. It's not really just about that. It's about creating a place for your fans and your readers to go to learn more about you and your work. You can make this tool work for you and your book marketing if you pay attention to it and put a little effort into it. There really are numerous websites out there that cover the Author Central capabilities on Amazon, including YouTube videos and so on and so forth. You also do not have to be a self-published author to use it. However, I want you to be cautioned about this. Amazon has made some changes, and a few items are not really allowed anymore. So some of those videos and training things are out of date because they've made some updates. And we're going to actually talk about that a little bit towards the end of the podcast. But here are the things that I want to go over today in this podcast for the content that you really have to pay attention to on Author Central and really try out. So number one, we're going to talk about briefly is the biography. That's your biography, not anyone else's biography. That's your biography to talk about you. Number two is a photo, hopefully a professional photo that you can use to post there as well. There's the list of your books. This is the books that are associated with you. That's number three. Four, I've combined two here, the sales rank and the customer reviews. These kind of are in the same area. They're really marketing tools, and I'm going to talk about those a little bit more. But the sales rank and the customer reviews can be kind of handy because it aggregates information there that you can't always get in other places. And then finally, five, the book recommendations. This is a newer piece of Author Central. I really feel that book recommendations is probably more powerful than most people realize. I've used it myself, and I'm going to add some tips and tricks here on the podcast about the book recommendations in that particular part. It's a little bit of a guided thing by Amazon. It's not a free for all. It is more guided, a very powerful tool that you can use. Definitely a powerful tool that you can use. So to get started, you need to first log into your kdp.amazon.com account and get to your bookshelf. So I'm going to ask the question here. If you don't know how to do that, or you don't know how to get started with KDP, well, you know what? I can help you there too. Hey, I want to tell you about something. Change the topic. I don't know about you, but I like things for free. And I put together a free guide to getting started on Kindle Direct Publishing. This guide is many pages of packed material for free for you to get started and writing your own book and using Kindle Direct Publishing to do it. There's a lot of tips and tricks that I jammed into this document. It's a free ebook, and you can find it on the website, selfpubempire.com/free. All you gotta do is put your email address in there, and we'll get you that free book as soon as we possibly can through the magic of the interwebs. And so I hope you enjoyed the free book. Please give it a try. I think you'll find out judge for yourself that it's very useful information. I've been publishing books in Kindle Direct Publishing for many years now, and I think this will help you because I ran into all kinds of pitfalls, and maybe I can help you avoid a few, and you can get your book out, your masterpiece, out to the public, out to your fans, and have something there that will be out on Amazon for the ages. And remember, with Kindle Direct Publishing, it's all print on demand. So there's absolutely no inventory needed, and Amazon will basically sell it for you. So go ahead, get out there, selfpubempire.com/free, and check it out. It's the first entry there for the free getting started with Kindle Direct Publishing. I hope you enjoy it. All right. Well, have you made it to your bookshelf page on KDP? I sure hope so. It should be, Author Central itself should be available in your marketing tab on your bookshelf itself or your bookshelf account. You want to go there and you should see it there on the list of things to do in the marketing tab. Again, many items, many things that you can do in KDP here in the marketing area. We'll definitely cover those in the future. I don't know that I'll be able to cover everything in my lifetime, but I'm going to try. So first and foremost, go to that marketing piece in the bookshelf. Choose your home market, such as Amazon.com for the USA market. That's what I'm in. That's what I use. You click the button. There are several other markets there as well, the UK, so on and so forth, that you can create author central pages for. But click the button to get to your place you go. Most people, Amazon.com is their home. Once you're there, you get a completely different screen of information that you can use. The homepage itself, there's a bunch of things to navigate. There's information about you, and there's some tabs at the top. There's the profile, books, and the reports plus marketing tab. Each of these leads you to the items that I talked about on my list. The homepage itself isn't particularly useful, except it does give you a little bit of guidance towards here's where you can learn more, looking at what books you have, view all your books, view your sales rank, customer reviews. There's some hot links there. But in particular, and actually most important, and it's the thing I'm going to have you go to actually last, is there is a link to go to your author page on Amazon.com. So you can actually see what it looks like to your fans. That's actually fairly useful once you get your information entered into your profile and so on and so forth. So you're going to want to come back here at the end to the home page, click on the go button to get to your author page to see what it looks like from your fans' perspective. You'll be surprised when you go to that author page from the fans' perspective to actually see how extensive it is once you enter your information into your own Author Central. And it presents it in a pretty nice way, really, that looks good. It's very appealing, easy to navigate. And some of these features that I'm talking about, particularly the book recommendations part, are going to be prominently displayed. And it's going to show top books and things like that on that page that really have to do with your sales ranking rather than anything you're projecting out to your fans. But it's a very useful tool. You can enter your information and then you can head back to there and check out the author page from your fans' perspective. All right. So number one, and really first and foremost, is the biography. It's very important for your fans, your future fans, current fans. Who are you? People really like to know who you are in your own words. If you go to the profile tab on your page, and you can then go to create a biography there on that page. It really just a few words about yourself. I found that resume writing techniques tend to work well here, in addition to adding some catchy hook about yourself or other information, or maybe what inspired you to write books and things like that. That kind of information, fans really like that kind of text and information about you as a person that makes them feel connected to you. Get creative. Don't be shy. It can be very hard to talk about oneself, but it is actually very useful on this page and for your fans to see you as this author and who you actually really are. Something else that's a little newer and kind of cool is the ability to add more than one biography with a different language for each one. So you add bio in a new language, and you edit it. And it's really just a text editor, but apparently you can put it in different languages. And I'm not even sure if there's any upper limits to that, to be honest with you. I never dug into that one. I'm going to be honest because I don't know how many biographies a person actually needs and how many languages. I think, again, if you're that popular, you probably don't need to listen to me to tell you what to do. It is actually a very cool addition to Author Central to really add that in and allow for multiple languages and folks around the world. So the first thing you want to do is really get your biography in. Number 2, your photo. Your professional photo here, if it can be professional, that would be best. It's really not very hard, but fans like to put a face to the name. It can be fairly simple. It can be a fun picture, hopefully, that expresses you as a person. The details here are it needs to be a JPEG, a PNG file, or a GIF file of at least 300 pixels in width and length. There's an upper limit on the file size, about 25 megabytes as well. So you can't create like this really huge high definition image and load it up there, but it does create a nice circular profile pic when you do load that up. And you can make sure that your face is centered in the image and it puts that profile face on there. People really like that. That's what fans really want to see. They want to see you as an author and see who you really are with a picture there. And the profile picture allows you to do that. So those two pieces right there give you the full basics of an author profile, your biography and your photo. That's really, really good. That's a really good first step, but you really need to take it a bit further. As a side note, on the author page, there is a handy URL link there that you can copy and paste to share your profile page out to whomever you like. And so it gives you a nice, quick, nice bio link that you can send to people that they can go right there and take a look at your author profile. That can be an effective marketing technique as well, especially using that link on social media to showcase you as author and all the books that you've written that are on KDP and on Amazon if you have more than one. Kind of a handy way to do something similar to the link in a bio pieces, if offerings that are out there now. There's a whole bunch of those link in the bio kind of offerings that give you these little free pages that allow you to have a whole bunch of links on that page, but you need one link to get to the rest. And it's like a little free website almost. But this kind of gives you the same idea. You got one link and it gives you an Author Central page. So the author page URL, also very handy as a side note. All right. Number 3, books. When you go to the books tab, you can add all the books from your bookshelf. So if you have more than one book, I have numerous books out there. You can add these to your bookshelf. These all get added to your author page. And it actually shows how many editions of each kind you have, depending on what kind of formats you used, Kindle versus print, if you have both, those kinds of things. These really show up as a nice list on your author page that can help drive traffic to your other books in your series or what have you. And so, or whatever series you might have, or different types of books or individual books. It's really not hard to do this. And I expressly really think that you should really do that. I emphasize this. You really, really should do this. With the biography and the photo and the books, just doing these things is a huge, huge uplift for your popularity, I'm sure. And it's not hard to do. There's a search your bookshelf function that all you have to do is enter search criteria to find your books. That does seem a little strange because if you're on KDP, but it's not automatically showing which books, doesn't it know that your bookshelf is available? It can, but the trick here is that Author Central can be created for people who don't publish on Amazon. And they don't have to necessarily have only just Kindle KDP books or books outside of Amazon. They can have a mix. So you actually can search for different things. And so this way you search your bookshelf and make sure you connect it. What I found is that the ASIN, that Amazon stock number system they use, that is really the best and easiest thing to use. To go there, use that, go back to your bookshelf. You go back to the bookshelf entry. You can pick it right up, put it in there. It'll come right up. Really simple. I highly recommend it. Number 4, sales rank and reviews. In the Reports Plus Marketing tab, you can see your numbers of followers, which a follower is someone who follows you. And it's really cool because if you have something new come out and they're following you, it messages those folks when you release that new book automatically. So it's really nice to have a following on Amazon because they'll do direct marketing for you when you release a book. You can also see your sales ranks of all your books. Hey, top 100, anybody? Anybody on the top 100 out there? That's pretty cool. Pick your category, even if it's really obscure. Are you in the top 100? Congratulations if you've got a book in the top 100. That's fantastic. And so the sales ranks of all your books, very handy. It's all together in one spot on Amazon, and consolidated lists of customer reviews. This is particularly handy if you have multiple books, because then you don't have to go to each book and look at the review for each and every, look at the different reviews for each and every individual book. They're actually all there, and you can see the stars and so on and so forth, and they'll give you that information. If there's feedback there, you're going to want to take a look at that. Is there something that you can improve upon? Is there something that they're talking about? Is it good? That or something they really like? Lean into those things. It's all there, all in one spot. That's pretty handy. You get a nice feel for how your marketing efforts have been paying off, or maybe they haven't. I don't know. Finally, number 5, book recommendations. Okay, this is really interesting. It's on that same page, but this is kept separately in my podcast here for very good reason. Book recommendations are newer, and they actually have a survey out asking if you like it or not, or things like that. So the idea is very simple. You can create a recommendation for what books for people to read by other authors or books that you've written yourself. Here is a golden opportunity to cross-promote, cross-market with fellow authors. They do have a specific list of questions, but if you have other authors that you could recommend for each other, you're cross-promoting and you're amplifying each other's voices, especially if you're in the same genre. That is very powerful on Amazon, and you can showcase that on your author page for their book, and they can showcase that their author page for your book. That's pretty cool. I'm surprised they did that, but then again, it's very controlled. So it doesn't get abused, but it's very controlled. So you can do that. And you can, of course, talk about your own. So they have these specific questions to answer, but it's really an opportunity also, even more importantly, to write a note to your fans about that book. Hey, I really love this author. Their book is great. And this is why. And you can put that in there. And they can say, hey, this is my friend. They're an author. They've got this book, and this is why I like it. Check it out. You really want to go see this. What a great way to help each other out as authors. I think it's awesome. You can do the same by answering questions about your own book. So example there would be, it's asked you to pick a book for what's your most talked about book. And you just pick your book and you put your note in about your own book. And you say, hey, this is my most talked about book. People like it because of the characters or whatever it is that you want to say. I cannot recommend this enough that you really need to pay attention to book recommendations. It's relatively new on Amazon, Author Central. I don't know that a lot of places are talking about it or discussing it, but I think it's really powerful, especially if used correctly to cross-promote. Talk to your fellow authors. Hey, I'd be happy to cross-promote anybody's book. If they want, send me a message, let me know. Send me a DM on Spotify or on the website, whatever you want to do. Let me know. I'd be happy to cross-promote your book as well. It moved me. I laughed. I cried. It was a tour de force. Whatever. I can say whatever you want me to say, but I think it's pretty cool. So, number 5, book recommendations. Do not ignore this at your own peril. I mean, ignore it at your own peril. I think you understand what I'm saying. Hey, I want to switch topics for a quick second here, and I want you to listen to the sound of my voice and pay close attention to how it sounds, the tone, the pitch, those kinds of things as I'm speaking to you right now. So listen to my voice, see what you think, and there. Do you got it? Do you remember how that sounds? Okay, now listen to this. Okay, how about now? Listen again to the sound of my voice. Can you tell a difference? I kind of hope not, because I'm using something called Resound.fm. It is my absolute favorite helper tool for creating podcasts, and really for any kind of audio that I record. I use Resound.fm to make it better, make it smoother. And so the reason I had you listen to this the first part and this second part separately, potentially, second part, if you can tell where that break was. The first part, I was using my relatively fancy, not extremely expensive, but very nice microphone hooked up to my computer. And I made that audio with the microphone. The second part here, which I'm speaking to you with right now, I'm using my earbuds and my smartphone. It's absolutely amazing. I took the two pieces of audio, put them together, and ran them through ReSound, especially the magic enhance button, and it smooths out the audio for me, making it almost seamless and not very different from the two different recording devices. Frankly, I love the freedom of recording podcasts using my earbuds. And resound.fm makes it super, super easy. It's fantastic. It will also take care of all your oohs and ahs and other extra sounds that you don't want in your audio. And you can use it for audiobooks. Well, like I said, podcasts. You can optimize your audio for YouTube videos and really just about anything that a creator would want to use for audio to make that work better and make it sound better. Make it sound much more professional. Made by professionals for a professional podcast itself, and using artificial intelligence to make it work really, really well is great. So check it out at selfpubempire.com/resound. That's selfpubempire.com/resound. Check out what I think about it there on that page and click the link and try it for yourself. See for yourself. Thanks so much. We'll switch topics again here. All right. So what's been removed from Author Central? Beware, like I mentioned before, of websites and other areas that talk about these things that I'm going to touch on here. They are out of date. If they're really talking about some of these things, they're definitely out of date with their training and their information. So Amazon's moved on relatively recently as of this podcast. And here is the latest information that I have on the topics that are there. And they actually talk about it on the Author Central website. If you go there, you'll see that. So photos and videos from the author are no longer available as of November 2023. So that's actually interesting because they used to allow authors to upload whatever they wanted to from a video perspective and photos of their book or their whatever. This emphasizes instead then not allowing this anymore, reviews and videos from customers with those photos or videos talking about the product, because these tend to be more authentic, right, than maybe from the author themselves. So instead of allowing authors to do the sales pitches, they're kind of having the emphasis fall back to the consumer to be able to say, hey, this is the information that I thought about your book and so on and so forth, rather than the author telling it themselves. So those photos and videos are no longer available. I actually found it funny on my Author Central. I had a couple of videos that I had tried to upload for fun to see if that would be something that worked. They're actually still there on my Author Central site. I can see them. No one else can. They don't really get deleted. They're just there and never displayed on your Author Central to your consumers. Kind of interesting that they did that, but they could delete it if they wanted to. All right. So the second thing also gone is the blog feed. This is as of December of 2022. You used to be able to use an RSS feed directly from your website or wherever that would connect to your Amazon page and automatically update your page with blog posts from your website. That's gone. And so this kind of led to abuse. And so I can see why they removed it. You know, you can put all kinds of interesting blog posts on your own blog and then feed it to Amazon, and Amazon's that wasn't really working well. It was starting to get kind of abused. So once again, they removed this to re-emphasize consumers' comments about the books as opposed to authors' blog posts about themselves. I think the original intention was very noble because they wanted authors to connect with their fans. If you really want to do that, you want to have blog posts, you'll have to do your own website. That's really what it boils down to. So blog posts are gone. Finally, the editorial reviews are gone as well. So there's some talk about this, that in the training that I've seen out there about, hey, going to doing these editorial reviews in your Author Central site. You cannot do that anymore. They're, of course, are supposed to be from reputable sources, but of course that was abused as well. So they removed it. I have seen, however, some editorial reviews being added instead to A+ content. So that is a little bit of a shift as opposed to a complete removal So we can dig into that in a later podcast with a deep dive into Amazon A+ content. For a little lighter overview, go ahead and check out my podcast 015. I talk about A+ content, but just to get you started, which is still a long topic. A deep dive is going to be an even longer topic, but there's a lot of pieces to moving parts to A+ content, but at least in the Author Central space, that is now gone. It's been gone for a while. It was abused. Once again, power back in the consumer and in the A+ content world for editorial reviews. It's very, very limited, and it is very much reviewed heavily in the A+ content space. So be aware of that. If you hear that, someone's talking about that being an option, that's out of date as far as having it in your Author Central site. So there you go. I kind of feel like I, once again, here again, a little bit high level, hopefully gave you some better detail, but really scratch the surface on the power of this feature in Amazon. You really should give it a try. So let's go back through it real quick. We have a biography. You want to make sure you got that put in. You want your photo in. I hope it's professional. You want to add in your list of books. It's real simple. They come right off your bookshelf. Search is very simple. Again, I recommend using the ASIN number to make that super simple to do, to add those books to your profile page. You can take a look at your sales ranks, your customer reviews, all in one spot. Really handy to have aggregated in one location. And finally, book recommendations. Once again, what a golden opportunity to do cross promotion with fellow authors that are out there, that are in your niche or your genre, that you can connect with and have some cross promotion going to uplift each other. What can be bad about that? I don't see anything bad about that. So there you go. That's my five items to help you going on the Author Central page to help connect you with your fans. I really hope you enjoyed today's podcast and a little glimpse of the power of Author Central. There are some limitations for sure, but touching on some of these things and really leveraging them, fans really love it. I've seen some really good Author Central pages. I've seen some very weak ones. I recommend that you get in there and do the best you can to get that up to date. So as always, I really hoped today's podcast helped you move another step from post to profit. See you next time.
Hey, congratulations. You just listened to another episode of the Self-Pub Empire podcast. I really hope you found something inspiring, useful, and actionable for your own entrepreneurial and business aspirations. Let's keep connecting as solopreneurs, authors, and online creators of all kinds. For more information, how-tos, great tools, and show notes for the show, head over to selfpubempire.com/podcast. Until next time, let's continue moving from posts to profit.